If you eating Krispy Kreme and Popeyes, the workout is null and void.
Well, and also you don't even have the energy sometimes to do the workout.
Exactly. The fuel is based on what you take in. Hello, welcome to Healthy Her After 40. Today, we're going to be discussing the top 5 health issues that affect women over 40. And we're going to be talking about some tips and ways to achieve better health and to maintain it.
That's right.
So those top 5 things, just so you already know in advance, you can stay tuned for the details. Number 1, the number 1 health issue affecting women over 40 is heart disease. Heart disease is the number 1 cause of death for women over the age of 40, and the risk increases as we get older. The second factor that we need to always be aware of is the need for weight-bearing exercise. And if you don't know what that means, then come on, stick around. The third thing is the need for vitamin D supplementation, because that is serious business and impacts energy levels, impacts everything really. But we're going to talk about that and how you can make sure that's optimized. We're also going to talk about the importance of sleep. And I know y'all hear that all the time, but we're going to talk about reasons you might not be sleeping and some things you might do to support better, more restorative sleep. And then finally, we're going to talk about the things that you need to make sure you're getting done regularly as a part of your health maintenance for your primary care physician. So come on, join us here at the table to talk about these issues. Right, Dr. Adriena?
I 1,000% agree.
So first, as I said, cardiovascular health. I'm telling you, heart disease, like I said, is the number 1 cause of death for women over the age of 40. The risk increases as we get older. And so no matter what your age, now is the time, no matter what, whether you've already had a heart attack, whether you already have high blood pressure, maybe you already had a stroke or not, now is the time to get intentional about decreasing the risk of heart disease. And the thing is this, that's important to know, the NIH published an article in December of 2023 talking about the difference between men and women based on heart size and risk factors for heart disease. So it's a real thing, and women have to know and understand our heart risk and ways that we can improve it. And so the thing is, of course, we know there are some things that are beyond our control. Our family history, our just genetics, right? You can't control if your grandma had high blood pressure. But the thing is, and y'all know, if you've watched any of our prior episodes, we say this almost on every episode. Lifestyle factors are within your control.
Make a difference.
Yes. And so we have choices, y'all. It's not like, oh, well, this is just what it is. No. There are things that you can do to reduce your heart risk factors. And so those include a healthy diet, not smoking, reducing, of course, salt in your meal preparation and in your nutrition intake, as well as reducing alcohol intake. It doesn't mean none or never, but that means not in excess every day. And so those things reduce the risk of heart disease. Now, if I say eat a healthy diet, who doesn't know? Right, Adriena?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Everybody knows they're supposed to eat a healthy diet. Do we do it? No. But the thing is I understand it's so overwhelming. There's so much information. But
Mhm.
what I always say is like, keep it simple,
Yes.
keep it basic. And the thing is, one very clear and proven system is the DASH diet. And we'll provide a link for the DASH diet down below. That link also provides foods to add to your diet, how
Mm.
much of each food to add to your diet, and which ones to limit. So you're adding 5 to 9, count them, fruits and vegetables every day. You're limiting dairy and sugar to 1 to 2 times a week. You are increasing whole grains and lean protein, fish, lean meats. If you're not a meat eater, then you're supplementing with legumes and beans, and leafy green vegetables also hold good amounts of protein.
Mhm.
And so those are some really practical things. And I'm gonna tell you, this requires intentionality because it sounds real good when we talk about it right now. Like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna do that. But if we don't have a plan, then we plan to fail.
Plan to fail every time.
Yes. So
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you what I do every week on the weekend, like today. I will plan meals for the week for myself and my family. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, snack options, so that at least I am thinking intentionally about what we're going to eat and how we're going to eat. So that on
Mhm.
Wednesday night, when they got soccer and volleyball, and somebody got a game and homework, I already know what we're going to eat. And if it has to be an eat out day, I'm also thinking about that. What is in close proximity to the field? That's a healthy option. What
Mhm.
is in close proximity to the court? That's a healthy option. So this requires us to plan and be intentional. But I'm gonna tell you, I promise, do it 3 weeks. 3 weeks of intentional eating. You'll feel the difference in your energy level, in your sleep, in pain levels, in mood. Right hand up. Hold me to it. Okay. That's it. That's it. And so these things impact our heart health. And these are things that we can manage and that we are in control of and that we can do. Grab a friend, say, hey, listen, I'm trying to do this. Help me. Hold me accountable. Ask me what I ate today. Whatever you got to do. And then the next thing, which is our second um, factor as well, that is important for us as we age, is incorporation of weight bearing exercise, right? So, diet and exercise go hand in hand because you cannot outwork a bad diet, friends.
Nope, not
Can't do
at
it.
all.
Can't do it. You can go to the gym, I don't know, 15 hours. If you eating Krispy Kreme and Popeyes, the workout is null and void.
Well, and also you don't even have the energy sometimes to do the workout.
Exactly.
So
The fuel is based on what you take in. That's right. So when we talk about weight bearing exercise, we hear it all the time, right? Increased weight bearing exercise. What does that mean? Weight bearing exercise is any exercise that causes our bones, our structure, to work against gravity. And so that is body weight exercise, squats, push ups, lunges, pull ups. I don't know who do a pull up. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm giving you
haven't done one
examples.
of those in a while.
Yeah. But body weight exercises or walking, running, anything where you are using your weight, not cycling, because that's the bicycle, but anything where you are using your weight, and you can incorporate, as we talked about before, the use of a weighted vest to
Mhm.
increase the weight bearing impact of your regular exercise. Wear a weighted vest while you're walking,
Mhm.
while you're doing your aerobic
Yep.
workout.
Or even the ankle weights are a good choice,
Yes,
or the
yes,
ones that have wrist weights, ankle weights. You can
That's
even
right.
carry like a 1 or 2 pound dumbbell when you're walking, and as you're moving, that will also help.
That's right. That's right. And the incorporation of kettlebell exercises. And it doesn't mean that you're a bodybuilder now. Weight bearing does not mean you have become a bodybuilder, but it is bearing your weight during exercise. And so that's important for us long term, because like truly what we do now beyond the age of 40 is going to set the stage for how we age. It's going to decrease our fall risk. It's going to decrease our risk of nursing home admissions. It's going to increase our independence as we get older. You're not going to be dependent upon somebody else to care for you or drive for you or do your grocery shopping. You can maintain your independence by the choices you make now. So
Exactly.
decreasing heart risk, increasing weight bearing exercise at least 3 days a week for 30 minutes. And the 30 minutes doesn't have to be at one time. Break it up in 10-minute intervals. You know what? You know what I started doing? Every time my children yell, "Ma," I do a squat. Because it's been harder to fit it in. And they're going to yell how many times a day?
Oh, you probably doing 100 squats a day now.
I'm trying to tell you, I do still like these people though. I do. But so just even something like that, like holding yourself accountable to incorporate exercise into your day. Take the stairs instead of the elevator.
Yeah.
You always hear park further at the store. Don't circle and look around for the closest parking spot. And so it just takes us being intentional to address these factors. So
yes. So now we're going to go to number 3, vitamin D intake.
mm-hmm.
Okay. When we think of vitamin D, a lot of people know that you can get it from the sun. You can also get it in some of the foods that you eat. But as you do that, a lot of people are deficient. I would say the majority of people in the United States are deficient of vitamin D. And a lot of factors go into that. Like, we know we get it from the sun. So where you live can actually be a cause of you being deficient because you don't get a lot of sun.
That's
So
right.
if you lived in, let's say, in some of the East Coast, northern East Coast, like around Seattle, they have a lot of days where there's not a lot of sun there. If you live in the Midwest, where I live, sometimes we don't get a lot of sun on where we live. And the statistics show that about 35% of people are deficient in vitamin D.
And I bet it's even worse seasonally.
Yes, it definitely. So as we're going into winter, I know with my patients, I tell them, as we're going into winter, be careful about your vitamin D. As you look at it, is where you go, like being outside. You know what I mean? The further you live from the equator makes a difference, because if you live close to the equator, they get more sun days than we do in the United States. Stay inside the house and don't go outside. That's a factor. Actually, the darker your skin is, the less absorption of vitamin D you may have of somebody who has a more fairer skin. In saying that, you do want to, make sure that when you are going outside, that you are, definitely wearing sunscreen, because we want to protect against, skin cancer. You don't want to go outside just to get vitamin D. Make sure you protect yourself. Now, in saying that, all of us can't do that. All of us can't go outside and spend 20 hours outside and get the vitamin D that we should. Therefore, you do need to supplement your daily diet with vitamin D. If you are up to the age of 70, okay, so we're looking at individuals who are to 70 years old, the recommended daily dose is 600 IUs. If you're over the age of 70 or 71 or higher, you need to go to 800 IUs a day. That's your daily recommended dose of vitamin D. I would recommend that everybody honestly get tested for vitamin D, because you'll be surprised how deficient you really are. So if you're having problems with fatigue, low energy, that's probably the most common symptoms that I get in my office. People who I test their vitamin D because like, oh my gosh, I'm just tired. I can't do my things. Vitamin D. Have your physician add the vitamin D because you may be surprised of how low you really are. Foods that contain vitamin D, your salmon, your fish, kind of liver oils, mushrooms, egg yolks. And some foods have it fortified. So your milk is fortified with vitamin D. I mean, some things like that. So also remember that you also want to add calcium because you need good calcium in your body to absorb the vitamin D correctly. And it's the D3 that you actually want to get when you go to the store. Okay. So look at the back. Make sure you get any in your multivitamin. If you are not, supplementation. Also ask your provider to make sure that you're tested to see if you're deficient because you will need more to get yourself back up to normal. And then you can go on like a maintenance dose at that junction, at that point. Okay. Now, as we go into the fourth thing, which is your recommended screenings over the age of 40. Okay. So, what's near and dear to my heart always, yearly mammograms after the age of 40, unless you have a family history of a first degree relative that was diagnosed with breast cancer less than the age of 50. If that is the case, you start screening 10 years before the diagnosis. So, for example, if your mother was diagnosed with breast cancer at age 45, you start your breast screening at 35. You do not wait until the age of 40. If everybody else, we start at 40 and it's yearly exams. Okay. Please do not let the excuse of the machine hurting is why you don't get your exams. Because guess what? Breast cancer probably hurts a little bit worse than getting your breast in the mammography machine every year. So,
that's right. It's not a game.
It's not. Because the 3D mammograms are picking up breast cancer that is microscopic. You can't even feel. So definitely get your mammograms. And also do yourself breast exams monthly. If you don't know how to do those, ask your provider so they can show you. Or also there's good videos honestly on YouTube of how to do it. If you're not for your appointment. Pap smears, you need to go and get those. They're recommended every 3 years, according to the American College of Obstetrics and Gynecology. So every 3 years, as long as your pap smears are normal.
And the thing is, we know these tests are not fun.
No, not at all.
Comfortable. Nobody's like, oh, pick me. I want to go tomorrow. Never.
Not even me.
Yeah, it's necessary. Exactly. But it's necessary. And again, it goes back to being intentional about healthy aging.
Yes. Make sure you're also getting your lab test done. So you want to get tested yearly for cholesterol. You want to make sure you get tested yearly for your kidney function, your blood count. Get tested yearly for diabetes, for your thyroid function. And also, because you're going to the doctor, they'll check your blood pressure too during that time. All those things you should get done yearly after the age of 40. So you know where you stand. So that if you do need to make some modifications in your diet, in your exercise, then you know, because a majority of the time, that is your first line of defense. If you change your diet, if you exercise, you can lower your cholesterol, your blood pressure, everything. So definitely go to the doctor, get those, not just get them ordered, get them done. Key, not just ordered, but get them done.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
And then the other factor, as we're talking about this last factor that affects women over the age of 40 is sleep deficit.
Oh, yes.
We know we are not sleeping, y'all.
No.
And it affects everything: pain levels, mood, thinking, our concentration and memory, so many things. Sleep is when our bodies reset and heal. And so if you're not getting restorative sleep, that affects everything. And so the first thing to ask in helping you to get better sleep is to determine if the problem is with getting to sleep or staying asleep. because that's going to determine what you do about it.
Yep.
So if you're having problems getting to sleep, then you might take a warm bath first, or you might opt to supplement with a melatonin gummy. And so those are things that you might do if you're having problems getting to sleep. Now, if you're having problems staying asleep, it's important to think about why. Are you having problems staying asleep? Because as we talk about during this season of perimenopause and menopause, are you flashing, having your own private summer? You know, are you hot and then you're cold? Are you, is it stress and anxiety? So then you need to be working through how you can relax your mind and address the sources of the stress and anxiety. Or another factor that can cause lack of sleep or affect sleep is pain, chronic pain. As we get older and have new injuries and these bodies aren't doing what they normally do, and or things we've done over the years are catching up with us. Yes. We have to, then we can address that.
Yes.
One thing I'm gonna tell you that I really have grown to love is magnesium body butter. Magnesium body butter, and I'm gonna include a link as well on Amazon of one that we can recommend. And that helps not only to relax the muscles, but it helps with soreness in the muscles and joints. And it also, you cannot overdose on it. It's not like taking a supplement by mouth. Using the butter, you can liberally apply it all over to promote relaxation. And then looking at environmental factors. Is your room too light? Is it noisy? Is it cold? Is it hot? And so looking at things that you can modify in your surroundings to promote sleep as well. Are you watching the local news before you try to lay it down? That is not going to help you sleep. So just really being intentional about why you're not sleeping, because sleep is important as well. And so as we talk about these 5 top health concerns for women over 40, you can look at yourself and determine what areas you need to optimize.
That's true. So I want everybody out there, grab your girlfriend so you can have that accountability partner and be intentional.
Come on.
And then you can join and come with us on this journey to be a healthier and better version of yourself. Yes. So please share this episode, like, subscribe, tell your girlfriend so that you can also be accountable. We love to have you. See you next time.
Bye for now.